Mic check. Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. What is good? What is good? What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Of course, you know who I is, the good doc, Dr. Mike, back again once again with another classic, interesting, educational live stream for you guys today. Sincerely hope everybody's having a blessed day. Sincerely hope everybody's having a good one. Came on a little bit early. Just put the mic on mute, give you guys a chance to come in here and wait, you know, until 8 o'clock so that I could, because I didn't schedule this one, so you guys didn't know it was coming. So wanted to make sure I give you guys a chance to come in before I start the topic. I didn't want anybody to miss it, but of course, there's always going to be somebody coming in asking, "Oh, what did I miss?" Anywho, official time check, official time check, official time check. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. 7 p.m. for everybody repping Central, 5 p.m. for everybody repping that West Coast, of course, 8 a.m. for everybody in the Philippine Standard Time Zone. Like I said, sincerely hope everybody's having a blessed one. Doc's having a great one. It's been a pretty good day. Like I said, we're doing what we do, and we're going to continue doing this thing, and we're going to continue riding this some bitch until the wheels fall off. Doc's not going to stop doing this anytime soon. It's too much fun. For anybody coming in right now, make sure you get the likes up on the video. Doc would highly appreciate that. Definitely make sure you handle that. If you guys want to support the channel, you already know how to do so. But of course, the good Doc is happy that you come through. Spend just a little bit of your time with him today. Now you're on den. But definitely make sure you caress, molest, and de-stress yourself all over that like button. Wants it, needs it, has to have it. That is the reason why it's called the like button. It will not press charges. Doc won't press charges. And of course, likes are free. Cost you not a goddamn thing. All right. Seeing as though the chat's opening up, we love it. Let's go ahead and knock it out. Let Doc get his little monologue spiel out the way, and then I'm going to run to the chat, and I'll see what you guys got to say about today's topic. So today's topic. Sex education is almost non-existent in the Philippines. I repeat, sex education is almost non-existent in the Philippines, which equals single mothers and their inability or failure to protect themselves against diseases and all that other shit. Now, this right here is a video that is of interest to me because I'm saying that sex education is almost non-existent. I'm not saying that it does not exist. It is almost non-existent, okay? You remember how back in the day, man, we all took that weird-ass class back in middle school? Well, for me, it was like middle school. It was like 8th grade, right? I took the class in 8th grade, but nowadays they're starting younger. Sometimes people are starting in 6th grade, which is the top of middle school or like the end of elementary school. Now, the classes that they're teaching now, for the U.S. kids, I should say, the classes that they are teaching now are classes on sending naked photos. Like they had a whole class. They took a whole class period to teach them this. This isn't something you learn in PE, in the physical education class. This is a basically a class that they have started, that they've taken a whole class period to teach these children. It's basically a class about what could happen if you choose to send provocative photos. And this is at a young age, man. This shit right here is kind of scary to know that 6th graders and fucking middle schoolers are doing this shit, but it's happening. It's happening. It's getting younger every year. Shit fucking crazy. All right. It's off the chain. It's crazy as hell. Boyfriends convincing girls to send shit. Guys doing it too. And, you could go to jail for that shit. Like, for real. You could really go to jail for it. So it's not a good look or anything like that. But anyway, in the sex education class they taught me that my freshman year of high school, the weird ass class where they teach you to use the word vagina instead of pussy or some shit, teach you how to put a condom on, they teach you all the basic shits about sex. The one thing that they teach you that is off the chain is what these fucking diseases look like and shit. They be scaring the fuck out of you and whatnot. You remember what gonorrhea and chlamydia, aka the clap. They're showing you what all of this shit looks like, what crabs looks like and shit on your dick. It's weird as hell, but it's enough to scare you straight. I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. It was enough to get me right. It was enough to let me further know that as long as I'm not in a long-term relationship and with a girl that I trust, it would probably be in my best interest to use a condom. Not necessarily just for the fact that I don't want kids right now. Not necessarily just for the fact that I'm not interested in fathering any children right now. Trust me, the doc is going to give himself a legacy coming very, very soon. Maybe not. Doc wants to live his life up first. I'll tell you straight up. Me and the mean one, we want to live our lives the best of our abilities before we consider spitting out a little Dr. Mike TV. But in hindsight, I knew from the beginning, before I even started sex, that I wasn't going to do this shit without a condom. I could be real with you. I was going a long time. Before I even remotely thought of trying this shit without protecting myself. And again, only when you're with somebody you love and trust and really can rely on should you do it. And only if your withdrawal game is on point should you do it. Now, I know one of my boys is about to be a father. Big salute to him. I don't know if he wants me to say his name or not. Some of you may know, some of you may not. Actually, two of my guys. One is about to be a father very, very soon. Much love to my brother. I don't know if he's in the chat right now. Maybe not. And then I got one that's going to have a child probably within the next year. He just recently found out his girl's pregnant. So big salute to him. Not going to say his name unless he wants to tell everybody himself. But he made the announcement on Instagram. Anyway, back to the topic. You understand that we as Americans are educated on this shit. If we have kids, it's at our own fucking fault. It's at our own detriment. It's not because we don't know. It's not because we're not educated on how to protect ourselves. It's not because we're not educated on the shit that could possibly happen should you choose to have unprotected sex. The fact that you may produce a child, the fact that you may catch something if that partner of yours has something. It's not that we're not educated on that. We just do it because fuck, nobody really wants to wear condoms. Let's be real. But now let's slide over to the Philippines. They don't teach that shit in school. They don't teach sex education in Catholic schools as far as I know. Maybe the rules have changed a little bit, but as far as I know, I have never come across anybody that has ever told me that they're sexually educated or that they have sex education class. I don't think that it is something that is taught. I don't know if it's something that is acceptable as part of the school curriculum. I don't know. But they're not educated on it. And again, I'm not saying that they're not educated based on their own fault. They're not educated because nobody teaches them this shit. You mean to tell me that they have to go to their older brothers or older sisters to educate them on sex? You mean to tell me that I know for sure they're not going to ask their mother and father, because if they even have a remotely slight idea that their children are having sex, especially if they're the daughters, them children going to be locked up with chastity belts and the whole nine. So they have nobody to run to when it comes to educating themselves on the ideology of having sex. So what do? Fuck, they basically teach themselves, or they ask their friends. And you mean to tell me that somebody that is of your age is going to actually teach you about sex? They're going to tell you how to do it and how to protect yourself? No, because they never learned either. Like I said, the only person you could possibly rely on is an older sibling. And sometimes the older sibling doesn't know shit either. So when it comes to the Philippines, and I don't want to even remotely go towards the fact that the Philippines is the third world country, that's why they're not educated on it. Nah, that shit don't sound right to me. That don't sound right. Every country should be educated on, being able to protect themselves. Everybody knows what a fucking condom is. That's why they sell condoms damn near in every country you go to. Whether you choose to use them or not are completely up to you. In the United States, we have the option. We've been educated. So if we do it, we fucked up. We did that on our own. All right. That ain't got nothing to do with nobody. That is just us acting on our own recognizance and messing it up, having single baby mamas and all that shit. That's your thing. You want to have 10 baby mamas, you do that. Doc's not into it. Okay. I don't got time for child support, none of the above. But like I said, here in the Philippines, man, it's just a whole different atmosphere. It's like only certain women choose to educate themselves on, sexually. Only certain women choose to educate themselves sexually. What kind of women am I talking about? The women that work in a particular industry that many of us men are familiar with, whether it be anywhere in the world. That is the oldest profession in the world. We already know what it is. But women who choose to partake in activities and use that in order for them to earn a living, we know who we're talking about. Those women educate themselves. How do they educate themselves? They go down to the Department of Health. They go down to these areas where they have, where they give away free condoms, the health clinics and all of that shit. Do you honestly believe that a 13 or 14-year-old child is going to voluntarily go down to the DOH or these clinics to get condoms and fucking sit down and listen to these people talk to them about sex education? Hell no. Some of them don't even go to school. And we'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that in a split second. But the fact of the matter is, none of these people are going to go educate themselves. None of these motherfuckers go educate themselves. Why should they? They have nothing else better to do with their lives normally. If they're not going to regular school, let's keep it real. This is what I've learned. And these kids are having sex at a very, very young age in the Philippines. Don't sugarcoat this shit. We all know. Most of these kids start having sex about 12 or 13 years old. Most of them. Not all of them. Some of them start a little bit later. If you're in school, sometimes you might start a little bit later. But if you are a child, 12 to 13 years old, nothing to do. And when I say nothing to do, I mean nothing to do. You're not going to school. You don't do anything every day. I mean, there's no, because mother and father, maybe they can't afford to send you to school, whatever it may be. You have all of these people who can't afford to do things, or all of these people who can't, that have nothing else better to do with their lives. I should say they have nothing else better to do with their lives. What are they going to do? They're going to do something that makes them happy. What makes them happy? Probably getting a boyfriend or hanging out with a friend that is somebody that is close to them, and one thing leading to another, and bam, they're partaking in sexual activities, because of nothing to do. And I mean that to be true. At 12 or 13 years old, you're participating in sex because you have nothing else better to do. That's just the truth. I don't really see there being any other way that you would want to. Yes, you're entering your pubescent stage. I guess that's what they call it. You're entering the pubescent stage. But at the end of the day, you're at a point in your life where, you're interested in it. And the reason you're interested in it is because you're supposed to be at that age. And because you're interested in it, you don't know nothing about the shit, but you want to do it. So you try to find somebody who wants to do it with you. And that's how shit starts. And with all of this going around, nobody knows about condoms and the whole nine. That's how you spread diseases. And that's real. The spread of diseases is rampant in the country. Yes, it may be lower in this country than it is in other countries, but let's keep it 100% honest. It is not something to overlook here. It is something that is really a big, big deal here. It is something that you should really take into consideration as a grown-ass man coming to the Philippines looking to partake in, sexual activities. You really have to look into protecting yourself. And that's just you being smart. I mean, sometimes you trust the girl, sometimes get bit in the ass. I mean, it happens to the best of us. But at the end of the day, we have to understand that educating ourselves sexually, we should be better than this. But in the Philippines, it's just almost non-existent. It's almost as if you how can I say this? It's almost as if you expect them not to be educated on it. Now, let's get to the nitty-gritty of this whole thing, because here's a topic of conversation that must be said. We all know it to be real. I'm gonna get to the comment section in a minute, guys. Don't worry about it. Doc's gonna get to you guys. Don't worry about it. Wait for your shout out. I'm gonna get this last part out, and then I'm gonna run to the chat. Maybe we'll discuss some more shit later. Filipinos don't like to use condoms. Okay, let's talk about that for a second. Filipinos, I guess Filipino people in general, naturally, for some god-awful reason, don't like to use condoms. I don't really know the exact reason why that is. I'm not going to sit there and say I'm the expert on why Filipinos don't do what they do or why they don't like it. You got to ask a Filipina. Ask Mira Kay or some shit. Shout out to her. Anyways, you got to ask a Filipina, ask a Filipino. Okay? And the reason why I say that is simply because the way that I've heard it is that it's a religion thing. Maybe condoms are not really, I'm not saying that they're not acceptable, but they're just not promoted. Like, I think that condoms are used as proactive ways to not produce children, and maybe in certain religions and cultures the ideology is to procreate or whatever it may be. Maybe they're not thinking that you should ever have sex outside of marriage, so condoms are useless anyways, because you shouldn't be having sex until you're married, and once you're married, that's your girlfriend, and I mean that's your husband, that's your wife. So at the end of the day, you guys should be open, ready, and willing to procreate and have children once you guys get married. So when you talk about the use of non-condoms, some people don't like it because it don't feel good. Okay, not gonna lie, I ain't gonna front, man. That shit can hurt sometimes. Okay, especially when that some bitch get dry. Like it becomes fucking useless. I'm just gonna tell you the truth. I don't like them all the time. Okay, I've used them before. Never really had to use them too much lately. Of course, you know, Doc's in a monogamous relationship. LOL, LLL. I ain't gonna tell you my business, but at the end of the day, you kind of feel that you're in a position where you guys need to, that you're okay with being with your young lady like that. That's cool. That's the best way for me to put it. But when you do use them, the shit don't always feel good. You know what I'm saying? If it dries out, it becomes a problem. Then you got to go buy lubricant and all that extra shit and blah 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 blah. Yeah, I was getting it, Malcolm. A monogamous, monogamous. Anyway, like I was saying, until I rudely interrupted myself. I'm just saying, basically, when you reach that stage, you know, you don't really have a use for condoms, you know, not really. I mean, if you got withdrawal skills, you know, your game is, you know, like Doc, man. Doc's been dodging these bullets for fucking 10 years. I don't know how I did it. I swear to God, I don't know how I did it. I just don't know. I don't know. I did it though. I swear to God. I mean, everybody that I know has come to the Philippines and knocked somebody up. Damn near. Anywho, that's neither here nor there. But basically, what I'm saying is sex education is non-existent in the Philippines, mainly because they don't teach it. It's almost non-existent. They don't teach it. The only girls that are educating themselves sexually are the girls that work in the industry in which we all know of. Okay. At the end of the day, it has been fun. It has been real. But now Doc is going to go ahead and go to the chat. I appreciate all of y'all coming through and showing love to the Doc. I see 18 watching. Appreciate all 18 of you coming through and showing love. Make sure you guys get the likes up on the video. Caress, molest, and de-stress it. No doubt. If you guys want to support the channel, you already know how to do so. But of course, good Doc's happy that you come through, spend just a little bit of your time with him today. All right, shout out to my boy SNC. What's good with you, my boy El Ghost? Nah, whatever, man. You were not deaf. Doc just put it on mute. I just want to give everybody a chance to come in before I get started and cut down on the outside noise. My man Glenn Gibson, what's going on, man? He says the single mom rate increase as you go further south, and I don't really deny that. I think honestly, wholeheartedly, single mom rates likely increase as you go into the provincial areas. Let me say that one more time. The single mother rate probably increases as you go further into the provincial areas. You can call it south or whatever, but that's just crazy. He also says, I was actually shocked to learn that birth control for women in the Philippines is free, but they don't use it. Ain't that about a bitch? That's the crazy thing. They don't use it because they're not educated on it. They are not educated on it. They are not educated on how to basically plan what they call planned parenting. Not abortions, but being able to protect yourself before you get to the point where you are okay with having children. They don't educate themselves on shit like that. They just don't. What can we do? I mean, like I said, it's all there for you. Whether you choose to use it or not is completely up to you. And it just seems to be that way. I mean, what can we say? My man DJ Squeezy, what's going on? Larry S says, Dr. Mike, I am eating Popeye's chicken in celebration of the Philippines getting their first Popeye's restaurant. Pasay. When I get there, I'm going there. Fuck it. We're doing it. We're doing it. I can't help myself. I'm overjoyed. I think Popeye's is awesome. I've had Popeyes damn near every Tuesday because they have a special. Almost every other Tuesday, we usually get Popeyes here, so I'm kind of Popeyed out. But when I go there, I'll try it just to say I tried Popeyes in the Philippines. My man Oahu said bar girls will insist on using condoms if you're ugly and they don't want your baby. That's fucked up. But shout out to you, Oahu. Lost to Nomad says now we know Dr. Mike's problem. He hasn't had sex education called that time in the Philippines. Now we know the truth. Hey, man, you calling me out? I'm telling everybody my business. Wahoo Dude says kids learn sex education online now. You mean watching porno, bro? That is not learning sex education. Watching porn is not sex education, my friend. My Lou, what's going on, bro? Jenny Cruz, how you doing, baby? Wahoo Dude says, hell, I never understood the birds and the bees. You better off learning sex by living on the farm. Nah, you're better off watching porno, I guess, because that's kind of how the game goes. Ah, shit. Shout out to my man Serge, man. Long time no see, bro. He says, long time no see, man. Yeah, good to see you, bro. Wahoo says, did you see Mary Kay's video on the rise of HIV and Angeles? Convinced me, man. Hey, you guys want to play the game in Angeles? It's kind of rising all over the country, but probably more rampant in that area. No doubt in my mind. Jenny says, nowadays they learn sex outside. They learn the sex education outside of their home. Yeah, mother and father is not going to teach them about it. Brother, sister, maybe give them a couple of pointers, but at the end of the day, they got to learn somewhere. They got to learn somewhere. I think pornography is probably how they normally learn. I ain't going front. Wahoo says, I noticed there are far less single mother bar girls in Cambodia when compared to Philippines, unless they're all lying to me. Yeah, they could be lying. Shout out to my boy Malcolm, Mr. MJB, in the place to be. What's good with your family? Wahoo says, in Cambodia, their virginity original is far more sacred here. Yes, in the Philippines, I don't think that it is. A man Smooth Riff says sexual education and family planning needs to be number one priority. True. It can be the difference between a life of pain or joy. True. I'm telling you, man, Doc ain't one to sit around here and spit out a little Dr. Mike TV. I'm just not ready for that shit. Doc just wants to take his time. Me and the young one, me and the mean one, we've already had that conversation a million motherfucking times. We already know how we're going to try to take care of this. Hell, if the thing comes a little earlier, what the fuck can we do? But ultimately, we've already kind of planned how we would want this to go. He said, I don't, but I still use it anyways. It don't bother me. Shout out to the homie Earl Owens. What's good with you, Michael V? I see you. Wahoo says, maybe you're shooting blank stock. I wish I was that lucky. No, I wish I was that lucky. Trust me, I don't think so. I should go and get my sperm count checked, though, just in case. A lot of people do that shit. I got to make sure that my sperm count's up. If we don't have kids, fuck it. I could always adopt. It's all good. Man. Wahoo Dude says, I bet there are a lot more African-American single mothers than Filipinas. Yes, I agree. Can't lie about that. I believe that to be fact. I believe it to be nothing but facts. Malcolm says, I planned and sort of failed on both sides. Well, my man JD, shout out to my man JD Orchid. He says that he believes that is false. He believes there is more Filipina single mothers than there are African-American single mothers. I'm not going to do the stats. Y'all got to produce the stats. Y'all raised the question. You guys bring it to my attention. Now you have to produce the statistics. I can't go looking for it and do a live stream at the exact same time. So I need you guys to bring the statistics to the table. Show me the statistics of Filipino single mothers to African-American single mothers, and let's see what they say. Find me a legitimate website that could produce something, and let me see what's good. Man, are we talking? What the fuck? Where did the fries come from? Anyways, Hannibal, what's good with you? He says, is it true adults go there to prey on minors, or is that just a rumor? If you saw that video that old boy did recently about some dude coming from some foreign ass country in Europe or some shit, and he tried to meet up with a young girl, some people would probably say that is true. Some people would say that is true. Personally, for myself, hell no, not happening. But you do have some crazy, sick some bitches that choose to take a trip halfway around the world to partake in such fucked up activities. There was a situation a long time ago that we were all familiar with. I do not want to bring it up because thinking about it now makes me feel fucking creepy and it makes me feel goddamn weird. So I'm not going to talk about it. But there was one time that there was an individual that kind of sort of did try to get into some weird fucking shit, man. And the shit just, it got real fucking ugly real fucking quick. Y'all remember. That was no joke. But anyway, some people do that and it's fucked up. So yes, I'm not gonna act like they don't do it, but the majority, it's not the majority. It's usually like literally a handful of dirty, scheming, fucked up, mentally retarded motherfuckers who do shit like that. My man Marco says nothing like having your own mic. Of course, I wouldn't exactly know. Shit. We do what we do, man. He said that Southeast Asia is the Chamaleska. Man, that is a conversation I don't even want to have. It makes me feel fucked up talking about it. That's why I don't even want to talk about it. Y'all gonna have to go ahead and let that go. Next topic. Anyways, like I'm saying, sex education is almost non-existent in the Philippines, people. It doesn't really exist. A lot of people just choose to wing it. I kind of think that's what a lot of people do when they come here. They just wing it and pray that everything goes well. But we cannot always do that. We always have to understand that we have to understand that not everything. Hold on, how can I say this? We have to understand that when it comes to sex education in the Philippines, they actually have to seek it. They're not, that shit's not brung to you. Let me say that one more time. When it comes to sex education in the Philippines, they actually have to seek it out. That shit is not brought to your attention. You have to literally seek out information on protecting yourself for sex. I mean, sexually educating yourself and protecting yourself from certain diseases and pregnancies and stuff like that. You have to seek that information. Some people don't like condoms, even if they are educated, they just don't like it. Sex education is I've never seen a class on it ever in the Philippines. Never seen one class on it. If you go to these clinics, you could probably get pamphlets and all kinds of extra shit, but ultimately you have to do the information yourself. Yes, I do agree that nowadays you don't need an actual class. You can go online and sexually educate yourself. But then again, you have to realize we're in the Philippines. Yes, their access to internet through internet cafes and the whole nine. You have access to the internet. But let's keep it real. How many people, let me ask you a question. How many people want to go to the internet cafe? Some people don't have internet at home, so they have to go to cafes. Some people might try to tap into some free Wi-Fi if they're lucky enough, but they have to have a smartphone for that. Not everybody can afford it. Anyways, well, it's kind of funny though, because even if they live in really, really squatter-esque areas, most of them still have a smartphone, but that's neither here nor there. But how many people want to go to an internet cafe and do searches on sex education? That shit can be embarrassing. Somebody look over your damn shoulder and somebody be like, what the fuck are you looking at? Are you looking at how to ejaculate? Somebody over here fucking with you while you try to educate yourself. It's embarrassing. So at the end of the day, you over here thinking to yourself, damn, man, what the hell did I do? I'm over here trying to educate myself. Somebody over your shoulder fucking with you talking about, ooh, what is ejaculation? You over here looking at some dirty shit. Especially if you're kids. So for you to educate yourself online with the whole nine and all that shit, it kind of becomes embarrassing if somebody catches you looking at a shit. But I'm not gonna lie, Google is a damn genius. I like Google. Google works for me. I'm telling you, G is for Google is good enough for me. You can type in any question you want to. Let me get to you, Malcolm. Pre-cum is still a thing. Have you ever tried to type in pre-cum? Can pre-cum get a girl pregnant? And the motherfucker answers the question straight up. Pre-cum is still cum, and it is possible that you could get a girl pregnant. Scares the shit out of you. You don't even know if your little wee-wee's leaking. you over here excited and shit. You over here leaking and shit. You ain't even know. So now all of a sudden got you a little man's and shit, even though you try to withdraw. But then on some sites it tells you that pre-cum doesn't get women pregnant sometimes. I mean, I don't know. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is sex education, you can get it online, but some people are just embarrassed to search up certain information. Like, is it okay for a woman to have sex while she's pregnant? You look up questions like this shit because you want to know the answers. The reason you want to know the answers is because you're probably thinking about hooking up with a chick that's pregnant. Oh shit! I'm sorry. You're thinking about this shit. You ask even as grown ass adults, you're asking questions like this. Even as an adult, you are asking questions like, is it okay for me to do this even though I'm trying to do that and this, that, and the other? You know, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me get back to the comments. Okay. A Wahoo dude says there's a big difference between Philippine jails and U.S. jails. It's wall to wall people sleeping on cement floors. Yes, I've seen a Philippine jail up close, and I don't like it very much at all. Malcolm, the pull-out method does not always work, but it is considered to be the safest method. As weird as it sounds, it's considered to be the safest method simply because basically you're supposed to be the one in control. If you use the condom and it pops and you don't know it pops, bam, you're kind of just letting your seeds flow all through the river of whatever it is. One. Two, if you keep, I don't know, man. It's just a rough go. I mean, like I said, I might be shooting blanks, man. Fuck. I might have to take a Wahoo dudes. I might be shooting blanks. But it is what it is, man. But you got to take all that shit into consideration. My man Hemi just says, well, Philippines #1 viewer of Pornhub, so it's possible, Dr. Mike. A lot of these people are educating themselves on porn sites. Let's keep it real. That's how people are sexually educating themselves now, especially here in the Philippines. Why the hell do I need to go to a class for this when I could just watch the shit online? Huh? You watch this Japanese porn and shit. You'd be like, oh, so that's what a cream pie is. Oh, I didn't know that. You could, that's kind of, it's fucked up, but it's real. I've seen, I remember specifically, this is the funniest thing. See, I hate this shit. And this is what I hate about being a teacher in the United States. I hate this shit because these kids be asking you questions that you do not want to answer. So this girl, I mean, this is inside the class now. This isn't just her asking me solo. She's with like her friends and stuff. And she was like, I've heard of the word cream pie, but what does that mean? I said, oh my God. I said, yo, ask your mama. Fuck it. Ask your mama, ask your daddy, ask somebody. Don't ask me that shit. She came back the next day. And she said, hey, doctor, I know what the cream pie is now. I'm like, I don't care, bitch. Why are you telling me this shit? Like, they be all up in your shit. See, the liberation of the United States kids, or these kids in the United States, is crazy. Because they be asking you questions that you don't feel comfortable answering. I tell them to go ask your mama, go ask your daddy, go ask somebody else but me. They'll go watch porn, fucking come back and tell you what it is. Same with these Asian kids, man. But they don't come out asking it. If they have a question, they just type in Google search, what the fuck is a cream pie? And then you go there and they'll say, oh, it's a delicious snack. It's a delicious snack that you can eat. And I'm like, that's the wrong kind of cream pie. So what is a cream pie when it comes to sex? And then they will explain it to you. So it's just, I mean, at the end of the day, you have to want to seek the information. As a grown-ass man, I still seek information on things that I believe to be absolutely correct or things to be absolutely false. If there is something that is a myth, I want to know if somebody has proven it to be false or if somebody has proven it to be true. Like I said, it sounds weird, but I asked Google the other day, can a woman still get pregnant if she chooses to have sex and the man ejaculates inside of her? I asked that question because I was like, you know what? I want to know that. I didn't know. I mean, I kind of had a idea that you probably can't get pregnant again if you're already pregnant. That's what I thought. But then again, I read some damn article where this girl, and it was probably fake news, but at the end of the day, it stuck in my head where this girl was pregnant and then she ended up getting pregnant and she had one white baby and one black baby. It was weird. I was fucked up over the entire situation. Don't even know if it's true. Don't even remember where I saw the story. But I wanted to know if a girl was pregnant, could she still get pregnant again? So you have to want to seek this type of information, guys. You have got to want to seek this type of information, man. That's all I can say. My man MJB says, highly doubt it won't happen. He said, you do got to protect your neck. You always do. My man Travis Hamilton says, all Filipinas I've dealt with never like using condoms. They like using Plan B. Well, some of them are very educated on Plan B. I tried to explain to them about different STDs, but they only know about HIV, so always strap up. Yeah, they don't really care about all the extra shit. That's true. There are a lot of things, man. A lot of things. You got to be careful. You gotta have a trust when it comes to this shit, because sometimes you gotta be. You gotta. I don't know how to tell you, bro. I don't know how to tell you. It's always safer that way. I'll tell you that. Them pinholes in the condom. Yeah, I remember somebody doing some shit like that. That happened in the US. Somebody was poking holes in condoms and shit, and people were getting pregnant. There were pinholes. So basically, they were poking. It was like they were poking through the wrapper. So they were ultimately poking the condom. So that whenever the dude ejaculated, it kind of got him pregnant. It was the weirdest thing. I remember that shit. Smooth riffs, you like me, bro. Timing is key. Yeah, man. You gotta have that perfect timing. You gotta know when you feel that some bitch get right to the tip. You gotta know it's time to blow. You gotta get that shit up out of there. I'm playing, but we gotta be real with ourselves. Oahu dude says porn addiction surpass both drugs and gambling in the U.S. So what's the negative consequences of too much porn? A lot of ejaculation and probably damn near pulling your dick off or some shit, I guess. I don't know. You love your hand more than your wife. That's funny. My man Malcolm says, but you get those folks that always change the narrative of certain topics and things and intercourse, porn, etc. Porn is not a bad thing. It's just something you must use in moderation. Let's be honest. You got to use that shit in moderation. And honestly, I do believe that pornography is a educational tool. I wanted to write a paper on that shit. Somebody got mad at me talking about you can't talk about pornography. What? How the fuck can you not talk about pornography? Pornography is a real thing. Everybody has at least seen one porn. I don't care what nobody says. Everybody has at least seen one. And I do believe that porn is an educational tool. Pornography should be used as an educational tool sometimes, because sometimes people don't want to ask you questions. Sometimes they don't want to come to you and say, oh, what is this? What is that? How do I use this? How do I use that? Sometimes visual aids work better for people. Sometimes they need to see. Sometimes seeing is believing. So you need to basically see it as it's happening for you to get the idea of what's really going on. Sometimes you got people who ain't about that action. But hey, we do what we do, man. It's just funny. Me and myself and I was good. He says the Filipinos love Wu-Tang Clan, old dirty bastards. So yeah, baby, I like her raw. You stupid, man. Henry James says, especially in Catholic country where contraception is discouraged. There you go. That's why they don't really use condoms. I thought about that too. It might be a religion thing. And like I said, they expect you not to have sex until you're married. So when you're married, why use condoms when you're supposed to procreate? So kind of all runs hand in hand. MD says there's nothing better than giving a woman a knife. Boy, you stupid. I ain't about to take that risk. I don't like it very much. It doesn't seem like something I'm ready for, man. My man Malcolm says some folks get more love from their hand like a dog and will never leave your side and always down to get busy. Palmelina. Everybody love Palmelina. Yeah, it's a man's best friend. Down to the smooth wrist, you dumb man. You say down to the half stroke, right when that some bitch is right when you feel it coming, boy. You know it's time to go because it's time to blow. You be like and you thinking about it too, right? You got to think about it. This a lot of people don't know that withdrawing, and this is not what this topic of conversation is about, but this is about sex education, ladies and gentlemen. And anybody who has a problem with sex education can blow me. Anyway, it is so funny because, excuse me, it's funny because my man says you got to get it down to the half stroke. I don't care what nobody says. Withdrawing requires a lot of concentration. If you fuck up your concentration while trying to get right without trying to procreate, you're going to fuck up. If anything comes between you and your concentration while you're stroking it down to that half stroke, all it takes is that little drip drip, and right there, damn, oh goddamn, she got a baby now. So it does take practice, it does take patience, and it does take concentration. A lot of people just want to enjoy the act. I don't care what nobody say. You can't really fully enjoy intercourse with a young lady if you're practicing the withdrawal method. And the reason that is because you got to know when to pull out. If you enjoying yourself, you just gonna forget that you doing whatever you doing, and you just gonna let it blow when you fucked. Okay, so it does take a lot of concentration. Down to the half stroke, man. Down to the half fucking stroke. So it's enough to make your head hurt, man, because you got to think, like, okay, probably in the next 2 or 3 pumps and a drag, it's gonna be time to go. So you're gonna count them out. You're gonna be like 1, 2, okay, 3.5. Yeah, you're gonna have to do that shit in your head. It's weird, but I know you gotta concentrate, people. It requires concentration. My man Earl Owen say put a sock on the pickle. You got to, man. Heminger, man, you've talked about that shit forever, man. I can't do it. I ain't doing that one, man. He says, I kind of take my time with her. I ain't rushing nothing. Like I said, I do too, but sometimes you got to count it. When you know it's game time, when you know you have to concentrate because it's the last 10 seconds on the clock, and you in the game's tied up and shit, and you got to make that split second decision on whether you going to keep it in and pull it out. I'm sorry, whether you going to pull the trigger or not. That's all the concentration you need. When the shot clock is down, you be like 10, 9, 8. You know what I'm saying? You feel at every stroke, you feel that shit come a little bit closer. You gotta make that move, bro. You gotta be willing to know when it's time to go. Okay. I think that my timing is good. I like to think so. I do believe my timing is fine. God dang. Doc's been killing it today, but hey. I mean, MD, I understand why you do it, bro. I do. I understand why you do it. Hey, man, you gotta protect yourself. You didn't want to mini me. Yeah. Oh yeah, MD. You know when they want it, man. I told you that story, man. I had to fake it one time. I had to fake it. I had to actually fake like I finished in order to get her off my dick or some shit. But it is weird. Welcome to the wonderful world of Dr. Mike TV, where no topic is off kilter, no topic is not worth talking about. It's fun over here, man. I appreciate y'all coming through. I see we got 23 watching. Appreciate all 23 of y'all coming through and showing love to the good Doc. Make sure you get the likes up on the video. Doc would highly appreciate that. Make sure you caress, molest, de-stress yourself all over that like button. It wants it, it needs it, it most definitely has to have it. Trust me, it will not press charges. It will not press charges, I promise you. If you guys want to support the channel, you already know how to do so. But of course, the good Doc is happy that you come through and spend some time with him today. You know, the Doc is trying to get the camera fund in check. You know, Doc's trying to get a camera fund, you know, so I can get right when I get back to the Philippines. Definitely trying to get right for you guys so I can produce the better content that I can coming through in like 1080p or 4K or whatever the camera is. Gotta check the specs. But definitely trying to produce better content for my people, okay? That's all the Doc could ever ask for. Whatever little bit you can give, I would highly appreciate that. If you can't, it is what it is, man. We're gonna still try to make this happen one way or another. All right. There is always an option for hole number 2, bro, but sometimes hole number 2 is not always a man's best friend. Gotta be careful with that one. That motherfucker is scary now. It's scary down there. All right, guys, man. I've had my fun today. I've had my shits and giggles. I've had my feel. I think Doc is happy. I'm satisfied with the content produced today. Unless you guys have anything else you want to talk about, I'll give my shout outs real quick, and then I'm going to go ahead and call it an evening. All right. So, Heminger, much love to you, bro. My boy Malcolm, Oahudu, appreciate you coming through. My boy MD, appreciate you coming through, family. Earl Owens, my boy Smooth Riffs. Of course, my man Malcolm, my man Henry James, appreciate you. Smooth Riffs, my boy Travis Hamilton. See the homie TJ. Much love to you, bro. Larry S, I see you. Hannibal, my boy DE Raptor, my boy JD in the building. What's going on, Playboy? Michael V, much love to you, bro. Jenny Cruz, how you doing, baby? My boy Serge, long time no see, family. Malu, appreciate you. Lost to No Man, my boy DJ Squeezy. I love the name. Glenn Gibson, man. Appreciate you guys coming through. Whatever, my boy El Ghost and SNC YBN. Like I said, we had a limited number of people in the building, but Doc just had to get it out of his system. I could talk about pipeline technique, but we could talk about that all damn day. I can't. That is a topic that will never, ever, 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 ever end. All I know is this. My favorite thing to do. This is my favorite thing to do because it makes me feel like I'm doing something special. Doc is not a quick fuck. All right, not gonna lie. I'm a long stroker some bitch. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. This ain't no brag point. Okay, let's keep it real. What I like to do is I like to watch me go in and out. I'm like, yeah, that's me. I like to look at myself. Stroke technique, number pipeline technique. That's how it worked for me. You said it. That's what I do. You said pipeline. You know where I was. You asked for it, bruh. You said pipeline technique. I told you that my pipeline technique right there. Pipeline technique, having more than one girl in the pipeline just in case one doesn't want to act right. That's a whole different topic for a whole nother day, my friend. I was just fucking with y'all, man. I can only use flavored condoms, bro. I can only use condoms with scents. Strawberry and all that shit. Like, hey, Earl Owens, man, tell him, don't play with me, bro. Don't play with me. I said, this shit here, I do this shit for fun, man. I be over here having a goddamn good time. Don't be playing with me. But I'm not. He said pipeline technique, man. My bad. I fuck. It's too late in the evening. You got to be more specific. But if you're talking about having multiple women, that was my past. I don't talk about my past anymore because the mean one may be listening. So it's all good. I love it to death, man. You guys gotta love who you with, man. Love who you with. That's all I can tell you. Make sure you tell them you love them every day. That's the best thing I can tell you. Hey, that man asked. He said pipeline technique. That's what I do. I think that shit's fun. You gotta see. A lot of people don't understand this, and I was about to leave, but a lot of people don't understand. You gotta have fun with this shit, bro. You gotta have fun. You gotta be willing to just enjoy the moment, bro. If you can't enjoy the moment, why are you doing it? You know what I'm saying? So I be enjoying it. I find the little things to entertain myself. That one thing entertains the shit out of me. I can't help it. It is fun. It's funny. At the end of the day, Doc gonna have his fun, man, and I think you guys should have your fun as well. Whatever it is that makes you happy, by all means, do your damn thing. And with that being said, I need to go before I say anything else that's gonna get my ass killed. All right, the good Doc is officially out. At least Nako, which means I'm going now. Bye bye. As always, love you guys. Mga kita. Mabuhay. Peace.